Comic Girl, and I am so ridiculously excited about today's video because it is something that I have been planning and wanting to do for a while, and then COVID happened, so kind of slowed the process down a little bit, but we're back. We're back. That's right. We're finally going to do a back issue haul. There's a lot here. Now, granted, I have accumulated this over the past couple months, which is why we're now finally doing a video. But back issues, honestly, are probably like my favorite thing about comics. So for those of you that don't know, back issues are whenever you go to a comic book shop, to a comic convention, anywhere that sells comics, flea markets, you name it, and you just find treasures. It is those old comics. I mean, not always old, but it's the ones that you don't pull off of the shelf. Now, back issues, honestly, there's not really a definition of back issues other than it's basically not what you're picking up off the shelf. These can be books from a couple months ago, books from a couple years ago, you name it. It's probably a back issue. And what I love about back issues is the affordability. Now, there are some back issues when you look at some of those key comics that can run you a lot of money. But for the most part, back issues are anywhere from like 50 cents to $1 to $2. If I'm being honest with you, if it wasn't for back issues, I would not be that comic girl. Most of my collection stems from back issues. It allows me to find and discover characters that maybe I wouldn't have picked upon before, but because it's $1, I'm willing to take that chance. It also gives me the excuse to collect all of the wonderful covers that are now in my collection, and when I think about it and I think about all the money I have spent over the years, it is insane, but I just love back issues. And I'm really excited to show you this massive stack that I have accumulated. Now, everything that you see here has come from my local comic book shop while digging through the dollar bins. So yes, everything that you see here, including a very special book that I can't wait to talk about, was $1. So, let's get into this back issue haul, why don't we? Now listen, I have recently become obsessed with a lot of Marvel, ladies. I'm gonna be honest with you, most of this back issue haul is Marvel related because at this point I've collected pretty much everything DC comic related that my heart could possibly want. So now that I love Marvel and I love a lot of women from Marvel, it's time to start collecting Marvel. So I picked up here the first issue of She-Hulk. I absolutely love this cover. It is one of my favorite covers of the She-Hulk run. I love Jeff DeCall's work. It's so gorgeous. I've also picked up this Avengers vs. X-Men Legacy. It's number 256. I love the Mark Brooks art of Rogue and She-Hulk fighting. And She-Hulk, she's just gorgeous. She's beautiful. I love her. I love that for me. Thank you, She-Hulk. Now, I've got a couple of these already, but I went and picked up the hip-hop variant covers for Spider-Woman and for Mockingbird. This is actually another one by Jeff DeCall, and I really just love these hip-hop variant covers. I might not always know where they're coming from, but I love picking them up. Like I said, I already have a couple in my collection. Of course, I have that all-new Wolverine cover, but I've been slowly collecting all of the, you know, hip-hop variant covers, mostly for the pretty ladies. So I'm really excited to add more to my collection. This next book honestly brings me back. It is Mystique number 2 from the infamous Brian K. Vaughan run. It is a Joseph Linsner cover, and I love Joseph Linsner's art. His art is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. Now, why I say that this is a special little cover is because I remember this cover when it first came out. I was a wee baby, so I wasn't collecting comic books yet, but I was probably like 13 or 14, and I remember seeing this cover, and I'm trying to figure out how Baby Mars ever thought that she was straight, because this cover confirms that I have always been a lover of women and always been a bisexual woman, even if I never wanted to admit it. So Mystique, who is also a bisexual lady, can we talk about that? Mystique, bisexual icon. I need to read more Mystique in my life, so please, I'm definitely going to be checking out the Brian K. Vaughan run because I love Brian K. Vaughan, but send me your Mystique comic book recommendations because I realize that she is just a gorgeous Marvel lady that I love, but that I don't actually know a whole lot about, so send me those recs because I need them. Speaking of X-Men ladies that I love a whole lot and just confirm my sexuality 100%, can we talk about these covers featuring Emma Frost. Let's start with Uncanny X-Men. I don't even know what number this is. Uncanny X-Men number 532. This is a Greg Land cover, and we don't love Greg Land a whole lot, but I do support the way that he draws Miss Emma here. She is absolutely gorgeous. I love her. I love that for me. But let's talk about Astonishing X-Men number 14, because this might actually be the most bisexual thing I have ever seen in my whole life. It is Emma Frost and Wolverine making out, and I only wish that I could be a part of them. So y'all, DM me, because I love you guys. And oh my god, it is spicy on the inside. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of times when I buy comics, I don't always read them. Like for this one particularly, I bought it because I like the cover. However, it is also spicy on the inside, so I think I'm going to have to read this one for science research purposes. And then, oh my god, the spice is even more. I think this is just a spicy book, so I'm going to read this, and I'm very, very excited about this. This is why I love back issues, because sometimes you buy them for the cover, and other times you get lucky and you get that nice little spice, and it's just all worth it in the end. It's all worth it. Speaking of spice, because I think we've established the fact that I might be a hoe for Marvel. I might be a hoe for X-Men, because we have new X-Men number 151. Now, a little backstory to this, okay? Oh lord, there he goes. A little backstory to new X-Men number 151. I fell in love with Wolverine last year. I mean, he's always been around, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, little baby comic Mars always thought that he was a little overrated and was a little dumb, and I don't understand why people love Wolverine. And then something clicked in me while I was reading the Wolverine and Jubilee run, which isn't very good, but it does have some very, very good art, and probably one of my favorite panels of Wolverine. And something inside ignited, and I decided that I wanted to be a massive hoe for Wolverine, because we stan a short, thick king. And everybody on Instagram and everybody on Twitter was super, super supportive of that fact. And I remember distinctly when I announced that I was now going to hoe for Wolverine, everybody was sending me this cover, because as you can see with the booty, there's a reason why we hoe for Wolverine, and this is it. So the fact that I now own this cover makes me very, very excited, because he is just thick, and I love a thick, short boy with anger temper issues, so thank you, Marvel. Speaking of Marvel, so these all kind of go together. So let's collect these as we do, because there's so many of them. I was able to find all of the Defenders issues. Well, not all of them, but I was able to find a good bunch. So I think I have up to issue 8 here. Now, this is Fearless Defenders. So I fell in love with Elsa Bloodstone a couple months ago, and I immediately put out a BPP, or whatever you want to call it. I put out a request for help, because I fell in love with Elsa Bloodstone, and I needed to know everything about Elsa Bloodstone and read all of her comics. And luckily, my friend Kaz was like, you should read Fearless Defenders. I was like, what is this Fearless Defenders you speak of? And I discovered that it was about a bunch of lady defenders. So Fearless Defenders apparently features Valkyrie, it's got Misty Knight, it's got Elsa Bloodstone, and listen, it's about fierce ladies that just want to kick the ass of everybody they see. It's also a little gay, which I am also appreciative over. So I am very excited to have found these books, because apparently the trade is out of print and can be very, very hard to find, which makes me a very, very sad girl. And while normally something like this I would prefer to read the trade, some of these covers are just absolutely insanely gorgeous. They're all done by Mark Brooks, I think, before Mark Brooks really, really blew up the way that he has now. I absolutely love all of these Valkyrie covers, and the one where she's a paper doll in particular. So I am just really excited to now have these in my collection. I haven't read through the whole series. It's not anything to write home to about, if I'm being honest, reading the first 3 or so issues. but it's definitely a fun gal lady time and kind of reminds me of like a Birds of Prey. So yeah, if you want ladies kicking ass, try to find Fearless Defenders, because this is going to be a lot of fun and I'm very excited. I also picked up another series, and I think that this is a mini series. Now, I know nothing about this, so fanboys in the comments, fanboys in the comments are probably going to come at me because I'm saying this wrong, but I picked up the Inferno miniseries. I believe that this was during that whole weird Secret Wars event that Marvel was having. It was like Battle Worlds or something. I don't really know. I didn't read Marvel. I'm still a baby when it comes to Marvel Comics, but I picked up Inferno for two very specific reasons. A, it has my girl Magic, and I want to read more Magic. B, it also has Madeline Pryor, I think. This is where the fanboys may correct me, but it looks like Madeline Pryor. Either way, she's very cute. So because these two ladies are a prominent piece in this Inferno series, I decided, why not? I think it's only 5 issues. They're only $1 anyway. I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna hopefully have a really, really good time. Not only that, but it has Colossus. So I'm like, okay, we're 3 for 3 at this point. I personally wish that the covers were a little cuter, especially if it is featuring Madeline Pryor and Magic. But you know, we have to get what we can get. So I'm excited to dig into this series. I actually forgot that I had picked up this series until I started picking up all the books for this little back issue haul. But yeah, Inferno. Hopefully it is good. And if not, at least there's cute ladies, you know? That's all we can ask for. So yeah, that's everything for Marvel. Let's talk about the 2 very fun DC books I picked up. So this issue is The Demon number 17, and I picked this up solely for the cover because look at this shit. This shit is so cute. It is this cute little homage cover to Gone with the Wind. I know I said homage wrong. Whatever. Fight me. And I love the fact that it says here in the little corner, if you can see it, I love how it says frankly my demon instead of frankly my dear. I don't give a damn. I think that's a really, really nice touch. I actually knew about this cover because I had the weird like 90s advertisement where they showed this cover, and I'm like, I kind of want to hunt for this cover now. And luckily my local comic book shop had it. So this is just a very, very cute little cover, and it's gonna go nice in my collection. Am I ever gonna read it? Probably not, but I'm here for the cover, okay? I'm here for the cover. And last but not least, this is probably the book y'all have been waiting for. I know I have been very excited to talk about it. I can't believe I found this book for $1. It is 52, number 7. Now 52 is kind of I don't want to say it's a trash series, but it was a really weird weekly series that they did right before the new 52 started. Honestly, it's a lot of convoluted nonsense, if I'm being honest with you. And normally you'd be like, oh, Mars, it's just a fun little booster gold cover you got there. And yes, you're right. It is a fun little booster gold cover. However, 52, number 7. Is the first appearance of Kane. I'm literally flipping out thinking about it. The fact that I picked this up for $1. Now, granted, it's not the most expensive book in the world. I could have easily gone out and found it for $10 or $12 or whatever. But it's the idea of finding a book in the wild when you're digging and you're digging and you're digging, and there's a wild Kane first appearance. So I'm so excited. If you know me, you know how much Kane means to me. I already have her first appearance as Batwoman, which happens about 2 or 3 issues later in the same series. So the fact that I now own her first appearance of Kane and of Batwoman is just so important and so special to me, because to be honest, at this point, when it comes to DC Comics, most of what I'm looking for is first appearances of my favorite characters, just because I like having that important part of history for characters that I love. So the fact that I found this in a $1 bin just feels like insanity, but I've done it before, as we've seen with my Captain Marvel first appearance. I mean, I found that in a 50-cent bin, but it's really exciting. You know, it makes a back issue haul all that more special and all that more exciting. So that's everything. I know this wasn't the longest video. I hope it was at least like a fun video for you guys to watch me sort of ramble and thirst over characters. I feel like this haul today was very, very thirsty. But let's be honest, you guys are here for the thirst content anyway. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't thirsty for characters. I just wish you guys had been around and my channel had been around when I was getting into DC comic characters, because when that started, oh Lord, when I found Big Barda for the first time, that was a magical experience. But at least you guys get to see me take this little journey with characters like Emma Frost and She-Hulk and Magic and Madeline Pryor. And, you know, I just love talking about comics. That's why I'm here. So I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to go and read that spicy X-Men issue now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!